You should have invested half a year ago. Why XRP has the potential to really take off soon. I strongly suspect that this will only be a relatively short correction. Why XRP can break the 100 billion mark and it probably won't take much longer. And how you can get the most out of this correction now and what is possible for you here, you probably haven't even noticed yet. That's what this video is about. On our channel, you will find exciting new projects, news updates, your market situation, and fact-based analysis of scams. If you're interested in these topics, feel free to leave a free subscription. And if you want to protect yourself as much as possible, we have prepared a free 8-point checklist for you. To get it, check the description. Let's not waste any time. Let's dive right in. You see it here, the headline par excellence, and is top current, folks. The last correction, yes, of course, it's always the last correction at some point. It's like the last beer, you just shouldn't skip it. But all jokes aside, here we are already talking about the US dollar until the end of the year. Is that even realistic? My opinion, no, but that's just my personal opinion. However, I can still tell you that you should indeed use this time effectively, because what is coming now is basically Black Friday, if you will. And therefore, it's best to stay tuned until the end. First, let's see what Bitcoin is doing, where Bitcoin is likely to go, and then we'll also look at why XRP could significantly continue its upward trend. For that, let's take a look at the heat map, and it's all red. Well, politically speaking, that probably won't be the case for much longer. Greetings to the Traffic Light Coalition and dear Olaf. No, so here, if we take a look at the whole thing, Bitcoin down 5%. And that naturally drags everything down into the abyss. If we look at Cardano here, it's currently down 13%, and XRP is nearly or almost 10%. And I can still tell you, these are exactly the opportunities now, because a lot of stupid money is leaving this market, as they are naturally in a panic and saying, is the bull run over? Yes, now I have to sell. No, it is not over yet. And above all, I can even prove to you in this video that the exciting market phase follows now. So at least if you are mostly in altcoins. Therefore, it will be very exciting. It is completely normal for a correction to happen here. Think about what has been going on in the last days and weeks. How many, sometimes hundreds of percent from X there were. Hundreds of percent in profit, you know what I mean? So, it is completely fine for a correction to occur as well. So I personally have been waiting for it, for example. I also added one or another position this morning. By the way, if you are interested in the topics of what you should secure right now, feel free to write in the description, then I can also drop a coin tip video tomorrow. I have now briefly called up the chart from my partner exchange BitMEX. So by the way, if you are looking for a cool exchange to trade, then I have a tip for you. Check the description, there is the link for you. $25 trading bonus for signing up, by the way. So without KYC, and of course you also support this channel at the same time. If we now take a look at the Bitcoin chart, this is quite an unusual picture, not automatically going up anymore. There is definitely a correction in here. But as I said, in such market phases, during a bull run, it is also completely okay for there to be corrections. Now, parallel, I have called up my tool Altcoins. Altcoins, we have talked about that more often. Or rather, I have also introduced it repeatedly. What I find quite cool about it is that you get chart patterns based on AI. Please don't trust it blindly. But you can already discern a certain tendency. And here comes the first hint. If you now take a look at the RSI, it is currently going down again. So that means we are theoretically tending back up. But I will show you a second proof of why it is realistic that this is just a brief breather, so it is definitely far from over. By the way, if you want to use IT fans, there are also many cool coin tips in this tool, so check the description. We have secured a 50% bonus for you, which means you can use the tool for free at first. And if you then decide, yes, okay, I want to buy it, you also get a 50% discount, so I think that's a cool thing. A quick look at the Fear and Greed Index can just give you a bit of direction. The market is definitely cooling off a bit, which is more than okay. Until a few days ago, we were just below 94. Now at 79. As I said, I strongly suspect that this will only be a relatively short correction, Because if you look at the liquidation heat map here, it gets interesting. In the last 12 hours, there is basically nothing down there. So indeed, even if we switch over here and take a closer look, most of the liquidity is definitely up here and there. Therefore, it is very likely that we will move back up. And everyone who takes this correction now will be happy with profits at that point. And I don't mean investing in Bitcoin, by the way. Then it gets interesting because you can also briefly notice this perspective that we haven't had in a long time, as the interest of retailers is now shooting up into all hemispheres. So retailers are slowly ready for Bitcoin, and then altcoins could also become interesting. And here is a very exciting picture. We are already halfway through. Oh, it gets cool. So that means if we look at the Bitcoin season and also the altcoin season, we have definitely reached the middle here, which is a pretty exciting sign for everyone invested in altcoins, including me. The train has slowly left the station for taking the biggest profits because everything is now definitely shifting. So we are curious. Maybe it will also go back towards Bitcoin. However, if you look at the movement of the last days and weeks, more and more is moving away from Bitcoin, which would also correspond to the normal cycle. So let's wait and see. And in general, I want to quickly say thank you for how this channel is growing. Like how many likes, how many subscriptions, how many comments are coming in. Super exciting. Feel free to give a thumbs up if you also like this video so far. Then you help boost the algorithm a bit and support us a little. A comment of around 10 words is pretty cool. And the only thing I've noticed is that most of those who watch the videos haven't subscribed yet. So if you count yourself among them, feel free to catch up on that. Before we get to Ripple, here's a quick note because some have asked repeatedly. We have introduced Evercraft several times in the past, a tokenization project that I personally find super exciting. However, it is definitely long-term, so we are also talking about what the team itself has said. Nothing will happen there until mid-next year, but good work is currently being done behind the scenes. There is now also a new exchange listing added, so it's super cool what is happening there. So if you're interested in what the project does, why it has such great potential, and how it integrates sustainability well, feel free to click here. And now directly to XRP and the general message, folks, if you have any kind of correction like here, for example. In the last 24 hours from 7.25% now, and you can see here that it is going up again or now going negative. I would tend to use it, but of course you have to stand behind it. So no investment advice. Personally, I am not invested in XRP myself. You can also guess that we are not being paid to talk about it. But as I said, it's a thing. We currently have a market cap of 78 billion, and I personally claim that 100 billion is relatively realistic. So even when we look at the chart, you can see that you have a correction phase, and then it decides whether you take the dip or fall into panic. Because if you look at it just over 7 days, over last month, by the way, that's also a point. When you see such numbers, it usually hurts a lot when you look here. Wow, you've missed a lot. Yes, it is. So what? The thing is, the tendency for a stronger correction to come is what I just showed you with Bitcoin. It doesn't look like that now. When Bitcoin rises again, the rest of the market usually follows. Yes, so you just have to be aware that you should have invested half a year ago. It's just the way it is. Tell myself that about many assets too, where I think, wow, I should have just invested more. So here's another call. If you say, hey, show me some hidden gems again. The last video was received quite well. And I can tell you, if you had listened to us, you'd have made some profit there. Definitely, I see it myself. Feel free to write in the comments and we can definitely put out a video about it tomorrow. Now let's talk about why XRP has the potential to really take off soon. Well, we have XRP soon, and yes, here we have the 100 billion market cap, and we will achieve everything. Well, these are always sensational messages, for example. Yes, we will never see $1 again. So yes, let's wait and see. I can tell you from the past, I've heard that from many other projects too, that we will never see the bottom again. Nowadays, you can say about those projects, yes, that's true, because it will never be reached again. Joking aside, so we have to wait and see. One shouldn't completely freak out hysterically. However, there are already a few breaking news items that could definitely push XRP significantly higher. And let's get straight to the new finance minister. Here is hedge fund manager Scott Bessent, who is more or less already confirmed in office. So it is stated here, yes. On the one hand, he is loyal to Trump, of course. Otherwise, he wouldn't be in office now. The Senate still has to confirm the whole thing, but one can be very confident that he will be confirmed. If you look further down here, there are definitely divided opinions. On the one hand, Elon Musk, who plays a significant role, was not very enthusiastic about it. There were a few others who were more in focus, for example here. Yes, there are divided opinions about it, but one clear message is that dear Brad Garlinghouse has already strongly advocated for it and said, hey, this is the perfect match that could exist. So from that point, yes. Indeed, one can say that this should give XRP a certain boost. And all of this, of course, in the context of possible XRP ETFs and so on and so forth. Yes, the Moon Boys will definitely get really excited about this. And of course, we return to the essential message. It's been a few days, but it's still very current. Gary Gensler has officially announced himself, Jan 20. I'm out. Finally, one would hardly believe it at this point. And all of this, if one says maybe an X profile was hacked or something like that. No, this has also been personally confirmed by the SEC. It is indeed true. The best thing that can happen regarding crypto, mass adoption, and especially what plays brutally into XRP's hands, is that one can assume this will bring more calm and that this legal dispute will finally be set aside. And here, by the way, is an official message. I have started a self-test, specifically with Bitfoot. In the past few days, I have repeatedly introduced the topic around the Pionex grid bot. It is still running and doing quite solidly. And now we have reported on this in the past. We also did a scam check. Is this whole thing a scam because it is a pre-sale project? However, the bot is already available. So if you're interested in our check, feel free to click here. And we are not paid by this project, just to clarify. In any case, I have now said for myself, no. For the community, let's test this out. Need to hold $250 in BitToken to gain access to the bot. So yesterday, I invested the whole amount, 2001, and started this bot. Bot is relatively simple. That means you just copy other wallets. This means, of course, in reverse, you should find wallets that perform positively. And I will also clearly show you the bare, plain facts. So I set this thing up. If you're interested in more details, feel free to write in the comments and I will gladly go into it deeper. In any case, as you can see here, I have started the first wallet and am currently copying it with the results. So this wallet has recently closed with a proven gain of around %. As is often the case, when you start copying, it can sometimes go poorly. Yes, here it first closed with a loss of 60% and then we had another 50% loss here. But it is also meme coin trading, so it can certainly go back in the other direction. You can see that the bot has bought again. So from that perspective, let's just be surprised by what this thing does in the future. But personally, I like to incorporate the test again and again. I'm in here with the minimal budget, so I've put in about $500 or so. And it buys in parallel. When this trader buys, it buys along, and when he sells, it sells too. I now go into every trade with $10. If it buys more, then it will naturally increase, and we will see what effective profits come out of it. What I find cool is that it is completely decentralized. For example, I have set up my own wallet here, because I obviously don't want the bot to have any access to it. To link, you obviously have to provide the private keys, but that's not a big deal, because I then said to myself, okay, I'll just withdraw the profits from my wallet. In this case, for example, Phantom. So we'll have to see. As I said, if you're more interested in this, we'll stay closer to it. I find it super exciting and maybe I can report on some profit numbers tomorrow. We'll just have to see. So now I'm of course curious. XRP, Moon Boys, what do you say? 100 billion market cap, are they easily in there? Is there much more to come? Or are we having the discussion about market cap again? It really has no significance. I'm very curious at this point. Feel free to write in the comments if we should let something like Bitfood continue this test. Take a deeper look at what exactly is happening. Well, then we're happy to do that. So feel free to write about it. If you liked the video otherwise, please leave a thumbs up as it helps boost the algorithm. And if the communication should continue, feel free to join our Telegram group as the exchange is a bit easier there. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, all the best.